boys and girls. Now, welcome back to Wanies Academy. Today, we shall be talking on the topic surface area to volume ratio in our subject, biology. Today, you will be able to describe the concept of surface area to volume ratio, be able to state the importance of surface area to volume ratio, and list some biological examples of surface area to volume ratio. Surface area to volume ratio is just a critical concept of biology that has to do with the study of cells and organisms. It has to do with how materials move in and out of the body of living organisms, that is, plants and animals. The higher the surface area of an organism, the faster the rate at which materials can move into such organism through osmosis or diffusion, and it also increases the rate at which materials can live. So a small surface area will lead to movement of little particles. So it is very, very essential that the surfaces of organisms allow for the easy movement of materials in and out of the cell. So it's a determining factor to the efficiency of various biological processes. Let's see some concepts in surface area to volume ratio. Surface area is the total area of an object, the total area of the surface of an object. So in some cases, the more complex an organism is, the lesser the surface area. Volume is the amount of space inside an object, while ratio is a comparison of the surface area to the volume. That means the volume of the surface area, sorry, the ratio of the surface area to that of what? The volume. So we say surface area is very, very critical and essential in biological processes. Let's see some importance of surface area ratio. Exchange of material. A higher surface area to volume ratio allow for more efficient exchange of materials. Exchange of waste products, gases between cells and its environment. Take, for example, unicellular organisms like the amoeba has a large surface area because of its unicellular nature. And by so doing, materials can easily move into the cell and they can be easily diffused out of the cell. This is just a medium through which the amoeba removes some excretory products. Cell size and shape is another importance of surface area. The cells with a higher surface area, that means a flat surface and thin layer, can exchange materials more efficiently than a thick surface and large spherical area. So the thinner the surface area, the faster the exchange of materials. Adaptations. Some organisms have also evolved characteristics, they've evolved features that adapt them to the environment, that allows material to move easily into their cells and to leave their cells easily. Take, for example, in leaves of plants. Some plants have broad leaves that increases the surface area to volume ratio that allows materials to move in, like carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. And that also allows materials like water to leave the cell during transpiration to make the cell turgid and allow it to stand erect on the soil. So let's see some examples of surface area to volume ratios in living organisms. Now, the cells with a higher surface area or higher surface area, like the epithelial cells, cells that covers the skin, both the internal and external organs are known as epithelial cells. So if the cell has a high surface area to volume ratio, it makes it more efficient for the exchange of materials. The lung is also a very good example of the surface area to volume ratio. The alveoli in the lungs, the alveoli are the blood capillaries that lines the cells of the lung. The alveoli increases the surface area of the lung and it facilitates the exchange of air. It facilitates the ability for the lung to absorb air through diffusion, and such air or oxygen is carried around the body for the process of respiration. The small intestine is also a very, very important means of surface area to volume ratio. The walls of the small intestine are lined with villi and microvilli. These are substances in the small intestine that allows for the absorption of digested food material. So the more the number of villi and microvilli in the small intestine, the higher the surface area and the more efficient materials will move into the cells and tissues of multicellular organisms like man. So the villi that surrounds the cell or that lines the cells of the small intestine increases the surface area of the small intestine for the absorption of what? Nutrient. Let's some factors that can limit surface area to volume ratio. Limitation on cell size. As an organism grows, there's a limit to which materials can move around. So that is why in most complex multicellular organisms, it takes some important processes like these important systems like excretory system to remove waste compared to unicellular organisms where waste can be easily removed through diffusion through their body surface. But in multicellular organism, because of their large structure and multi-complexity of the organism, it makes it very difficult for materials to easily move around or for waste to be removed. Specialized structures also develop specialized features that make them remove their waste or that makes the transition of materials easy in them. So such specialized structures will also lead to the decrease in the surface area and leads to the decrease in the amount of materials that can be easily moved around. Conclusively, surface area to volume ratio is very, very important in biology as it plays a significant role in determining the efficiency of various biological processes. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Bye.